Everybody get that at home.
Well, if you have, it's Rule 7.2.3.6.1.
You and your
Sentence
math.
4.
Holy crap.
Well, it says we just didn't realize that as we're adding them up, total titles, right? I mean, we talked Walter Ray. He's got 179 million total titles.
And he's throwing his first shot.
Yep.
So Barnes Hess here in this championship match, Petraglia Championships.
He's crossing already 23-8.
Yeah.
On the fresh.
And this is best 2 of 3.
On the fresh. And there is a boatload of Zins down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, with the Zen Gold label.
Yeah, the gold label.
Both players have them. Tom Hess here with an eternity.
Hess has got, or not Hess, but Barnes has got 2 down there. 1 pin up, 1 pin down. The 1 pin down's got 1,000 on it. The other one pin up is out of the box. And he's throwing an eternity.
Yeah, I didn't watch the practice, but I'm surprised he starts with this. I mean, he finished with this. It was good because the middle lane got chewed up. He needed something to get through it when he's bowling Bill. But to be able to throw down the fresh, he's got to keep the speed really slow.
This pattern, and I'm sure you guys noticed it back here, but it's kind of funny how the players seen it down there. They're going, I need a ball that hooks more on the back end. And as reps, Jeff and I were going, we need a ball that gets through the mid lane cleaner so the ball can flip on the back end.
Right.
You know, you're trying to go to a ball that is, you can't go to a bigger ball because it just reads the mids faster and it takes away your back end.
And we've seen Chris several times as a slow starter in some of these matches. So, again, best of 3. If he can get out and sneak this first win, I think he's going to be tough to beat. But Hess has got something to say about that.
Well, Tommy just crossed about 18 there and took it a little bit farther right. And there is an out of bounds on this pair.
Yeah.
And in the previous matches, in the last 2 shows I've been here, the left lane has been tighter. Things have gone south on the left lane in every match.
Yeah, it's been like that throughout the whole house. But some pairs are a lot more tighter than the right lane and the left lane.
Well, we definitely saw it in the Ballard pattern. We definitely saw the difference on these pairs.
Yeah.
And he gets 2.
Well, on 11 and 12, 12 goes 60 feet and 11 hooks.
Right.
So you see it get out there to 5-6, ball just never, ever picks up. We lost a player.
Oh, he's down there.
We went to commercial break.
He's
Where'd he
thinking.
go?
He's always thinking. He's got notes, right? He keeps track of what each lane's doing. And, you know, kind of like John Janowicz, you don't see Chris get tricked very often.
I thought he was just down there texting his wife.
No.
What should I do?
Checking his notes.
So who's going to win, Hess or Barnes? What's the odds? Who's picking who?
I'd say it's a pick 'em just for
it
2
is.
reasons. I mean, you know, if Hess was full of energy and this was, you know, his only one of the week, I like Hess. He's had a good look today. He's had a good look all week, but he's tired. He admitted being tired. Look, he finished the 3rd, 4th in the first event, 2nd yesterday. Here is another championship. He's been bowling all day, every day, the last several days. So,
Well, John Rakowski, he was saying that he's a little wiped.
yeah.
And now he's got to go to. He's driving to Detroit to pick up his wife, who is flying in for the tournament tomorrow to watch.
Wow.
And it's not even just the physical side; it's the mental, right? You're talking games under pressure, right? So that's like double almost. It takes even more out of you. Chris likes that shot. He's walking it out.
Yeah.
Well, games under pressure, you got different patterns, so you got a whole different thought process, and now you're trying to figure out what surface is going to match with what pattern, what layout is working the best, and the whole, do I hit it? Do I need to kind of fluff it there? Do I need to get around it? And there's just so many things that are going through these guys' minds.
Oh, yeah. Not only that, I mean, these guys are already looking forward to possibly 12 get more games tomorrow. And, I mean, that actually takes a little bit of a toll.
Well, yeah. They got, 12 tomorrow. Well, some of them do. And then if they make that top 18, they got another 12 the next day.
Yeah.
Then we got the show.
Right.
I'm tired just trying to do all the math on that.
Oh, you weren't in the booth last night, Chuck, but we were talking about fairness and, they should maybe be moving lanes after each game, in the best 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 5.
Right.
And I said, well, in all fairness, when we get on the show, maybe we should move lanes because it's still 2 out of 3. And I got nailed.
Yep. So I'm going to buy him a case of gaff tape and show him how to put it down.
Yeah,
All
absolutely.
right, Tom Hess, quality shot right there.
That's right. You better learn how to move these cameras around. I'm telling you, yeah, it's not that fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like these matches because it's more of a chess game, right? It's like you want to get inside to your opponent. You move here, you move there. Do you have to strike? Do you have to win? There's a lot going on, and it's not just let me go out there and fire it down and strike all day. Look, if my opponent's only going to shoot 200, I don't need that massive game. You know, you got to be careful. So I love the matches, and you see the movement, and you're going to see a ton here between these players. When you talk about the World Championship, Barnes qualifies first, Hess fifth, and they're both going to bowl all day tomorrow because they're talking 200. Well, Hess is at plus 640. The cut's 389.
Yeah, there's no way he falls
both,
out.
Yeah, they're both bowling again tomorrow.
And Barnes is at 790.
Yeah,
he's not going anywhere.
They're both guaranteed 12 games tomorrow.
And we'll see Wierkowski and Gates again tomorrow as well. All four players in the Final Four were in the top 21 in the World Championship standings.
Well, Gates gave it a heck of a run, and he was first qualifier on this.
Yeah, tournament lead on this pattern.
Yes.
With 194 game one. Look what he did the rest of the day.
Yeah, it's 250 the rest of the day.
That in a little?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was closer to 25 at the arrows, roughly. He just never got it far enough right. Yeah, that was about 26, 27, but it looked like he only got it to 11, 12 down lane.
Yeah, never hit that rangefinder that we talked about yesterday.
Well, you can't go past the rangefinder. We just seen what happens when it comes into play.
Making sure he gets that spare.
His spare shooting here this week on certain shots has been a little bit touchy.
You go back to even the regular Masters where he missed a couple of spares that cost him a match that were just unexpected. And even yesterday, remember that 3-9?
Right.
Missed it all. I mean, just some odd things that happened. You
didn't even have a chance at the 3-9.
No.
He'd have picked up the 2-8. So do you think that comes from just trying to throw it so hard to keep the ball on line? Or, a quality player like Chris Barnes, a Hall of Famer, how do you miss some of those spares unless you just try to overthrow it? I mean, Chuck, do you overthrow it? I mean, is it too hard for you? I mean, you throw it hard?
I throw it hard, but yeah, you don't want to compare my spare shooting to any of these guys. You can ask Craig about that.
No comment.
But still, I see so many guys. I mean, you got a 15-pound ball trying to knock down a 3-pound, 7-ounce pen. You just got to hit it. You don't have to try to break it in half.
You're not going to ask me if I throw hard at spares?
You throw it hard at everything. Shut up. But why do you have to try to throw it so hard you come out of your shoes?
Yeah.
That's part I've never understood.
Well, that affects your timing more than anything, right? That's where it's a hindrance, right? You start doing that, now your timing is not the same, so you're not targeting the same, and you want to repeat shots.
And being from the senior point of view, when you try to throw it hard like that, just on that single pin spare,
you might break something in your body.
Exactly. You have a better chance of pulling a muscle. Trust me, pulling a groin muscle, a quad, something, because you're going faster. You're trying to plant and pull through. It just, to me, it doesn't make sense.
No. I was talking to Enrique Sischler outside between squads, and he said that's what he was shooting a 4-pin and just got a little quick with it and felt a little tweak in the thigh, and not sure if he's when he's going to be able to bowl again. He's got to bowl tomorrow, but he's going to work on it all day to loosen that thing up. So to your point, Tom, I think I agree with that 100%.
I just don't think you need to throw it that hard, but that's just coming from an old perspective.
But sometimes that's a way to get that little frustration out. Just instead of doing something else.
Okay, now wait a minute. To your point, get the frustration out. But if you throw it hard and you miss it, didn't you just create more frustration?
You just threw more fuel on the fire. Yeah.
Okay, just adding.
Yeah. At that point, you're cooking with peanut oil.
Yeah.
And it's hot.
And after that, you're more thinking about the spare you just missed, other than the job you have to do on the next shot.
Yep. Just spraying lighter fluid onto the fire.
264, 279 max scores for these two players in game one, best of 3. He said a little high? Is that what he said? That's a little high?
There's no chance
Or
that
it-
was high because
yeah,
he got it too
not
far
sure.
right down
I
lane.
couldn't quite hear with
I
our
think you
headsets
said it
on.
was a little wide.
A little wide.
wide,
Okay.
yeah.
No, that I agree with. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah, because he was out to like 5-6.
Yeah.
Well, the only person that makes this 210 more than Tom Hess is Chris Barnes, so this should be a spare.
Yes. What was it? Was it today or was it yesterday that he made like 5 in a row?
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Who, Hess?
Yeah, he made 5 210s in a row.
Craig just hits the reset.
Yeah.
Never miss it.
Oh.
Almost cut it too thin. Went straight to the sideboard.
You see my
and
surprised
it
look?
comes out- Yeah.
Yeah. I watched Chris in a 2-game match, and it had been a couple years ago, go 6 for 6 on that.
Mm.
It was just, it's like, you know, let me shoot that, not a 10-pin. Let me shoot that,
Yeah.
like we've seen from Tom Hess yesterday. So these guys are great spare shooters.
Well, yeah, you miss the 10-pin, but you can pick that up.
Mm.
He knew it was too thin, but got the kick.
So with a strike here, Tom Hess takes the lead.
Yeah.
Tommy's still in that eternity.
He's
Asymmetrical
just-
ball, and it doesn't really look like it has any surface unless he hit it with.
And he's throwing
like
it faster
3,000.
than he was earlier, too, which is
Yeah.
surprising. I'm really surprised he can get away with that. You
Well,
know,
they
as speed
haven't-
sensitive as we've seen this. They haven't stretched it out at
Yeah,
all.
they haven't stretched the pattern out enough for him to slow it down like he did on the other pair.
Yeah, well, he actually got that out to 8, but you know, you take a symmetrical to an asim, the ball's bound to pick up a little bit sooner, I would think.
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to have a 6th consecutive first-time winner here.
No.
I thought we were going to have.
It was looking that way for a while. There was a few players that wanted to. Even Ryan Schaefer might have had a chance to get his first win, but Hess and Barnes.
Tommy's a little deeper. He moved a little bit farther left on that left lane.
Yeah.
That one doesn't get to 8. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. And what's even more impressive is his last 2 shots both registered 15.19.
Well, when you got an out of bounds and you got mids that want to hook early,
That's in.
obviously
Pretty
repeating your technique is one thing, but repeating speed is extremely critical because
Yeah.
now your break point and everything becomes the same. People get a little amped and they got, I got it going, and then they get a little amped and they throw it right through the shot.
Yeah. And it doesn't take much.
259 a max score for Chris Barnes. 264 for Tom Hess. Win 2 games out of 3, and you win this title.
So we had 8 games of qualifying. If we went the complete round, it was best 3 out of 5. So if we went to 5, there's 13. And then we had 3 more matches, 2 out of 3, which could be another 9. So there's a possibility of 22 games total.
And Tom has gone the distance on
And, yeah,
all of his.
I think Chris is 1 shy of
Yeah.
going the
Yeah.
distance.
Set down point, literally about 30.
You can play that line, can't you, Tom?
Well, yeah, I can
With
throw
that
it in
speed
there.
and everything, and
No,
get it
no,
to come
wait.
back.
Hush,
Oh,
hush, hush,
hang on, let's
hush,
slow down.
hush. Let's not talk about speed. I can set it on 30 and I can throw it that way. Now whether it comes back or not is something else. Oh, tripping the 7-pin forward. You gotta like that.
Chuck, right back to what we said. If you have to be in position to get the breaks to go your way, and right now they're going for Tom.
Yes, they are. And he threw that one slower, 15-8, and it barely come back. So they're starting to create. They're starting to stretch the pattern just a little bit.
And he might have got that just
Just
a
a
pinch,
little wide.
a pinch a little wide down there. He might have hit that OB, just kind of nudged on it a little bit.
You know what he's saying down there? He was whispering to it.
Tommy's definitely put in the work. I mean, show after show and competing, and I don't think there's any. We all want to win, but that boy's more fired up than anybody when it comes to getting to this point, I think.
No doubt about it, and he's been in this position now back-to-back nights. So Tom Hess looking for his 4th title here on the PBA50 Tour. Chris Barnes looking for title number 5, but give me a little trivia question. Where's the last place Chris Barnes won a PBA50 title?
Right here.
Right here?
Right here in this building last year.
It's a good thing we have you along for the stats.
I got you.
That's good. I have enough trouble figuring out what ball to throw, and he's wanting me to remember where.
Go back and ask as well. We'll tell you.
If he doesn't know, Dave Small does. We got a bunch of kids running down here and bouncing balls. What is going on?
Yeah, so since Tom had to back up, he'd already picked up his ball on the approach, but then he backed off due to noise for some patrons in the building. He asked John, "Hey, can I just take a rear rack now?" Even though he already, he put the ball back down, resetting. So John allowed that.
I mean, out of nowhere.
They're in the arcade. There's coming for a snack.
There's a beautiful arcade down there.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And
the only thing bigger than the Carter motorhome is the arcade.
Okay.
How many points to win the motorhome? How many tickets do I need?
You have no idea how much you have to play to win that thing.
That's all right. I'll just take the Xbox.
All right, Hess striking 6 to seal the deal here in game number 1.
Yep.
What's the chances of this ball getting anywhere right at 15? Is this plastic down the middle to get 6? Do you take 4 out of the middle out of play?
Yeah,
I mean 6. That's still enough.
Yeah. He just picked it up.
Or that would, 4 out of the middle wouldn't be enough. Yeah.
Yes, 4 out of the middle is not enough.
He was in this exact situation in his last match and needed 6 through his plastic.
All right, there you go.
Tom Hess, winner game 1 over Chris Barnes. The pattern hasn't yet done what I thought it was going to do, as far as blow apart in the mids is bad. Because we've seen on some of the other matches where the balls just were hooking so early in that mid lane, and it could be the surface they chose or the way they're playing the pattern, which is creating that.
Right.
So you got to believe Barnes is going to try something else. What's he going to? He's going to that new what do we call it? The
Exponent.
Exponent. Yep. So this is going to be a little bit earlier probably than that Zen, maybe not as much overall hook.
Yeah, that one's a little bit too lazy.
Yeah, that is extremely lazy down lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you saw how it just kicked the pins up in the air as well, not keeping them level.
Well, it got to
even
the
down
spot,
the pin deck.
and it basically looked like it just stopped.
.248, 263.
All right.
Well, they haven't disappointed as far as shooting up some numbers for winning this title.
No.
So who did everybody vote for on the deal, Hess or Barnes?
I voted Tom Carter.
Yeah. Yeah, we know that's not happening.
The public went about 65-35 in favor of Barnes.
Ooh. It'd be interesting to ask those people why they picked. What was their decision made on?
There was no space for comments on the poll.
Why not? Tommy Hess starting out where he left off. I'm just going to throw strikes when we'll be over with this. What time you guys fire up in the morning?
9 a.m.
9 a.m. advancers, Ron. What time is breakfast going to be ready outside?
Yeah. Well, that 9 a.m. is about the time I'm getting up.
All right, game 2, 1-0 lead for Tom Hess, and Barnes flat 10.
Now you've watched Tommy Hess throw that ace-sim ball, and it looks like it's really good. Even though that Chris is bowling great with what he's throwing, do you think he might change and pick up something a little bit different? They got eternities down there and everything else, which I think that's just too much ball right now based on what they're throwing.
Yeah.
But I'd like to kind of know what was going through Chris's mind right now, why he doesn't, because it looks like Tommy's got a great look with that ball.
Yeah, he does. As long as he stays soft with it, you know, with his ball speed, it's making that corner. I think Chris is just missing that. That ball's starting to go just a little bit too far and coming in behind the head pin now. That flat 10 was just proof of it. And then when he threw the exponent, that ball was lazy.
Oh, well, that's the information he wanted, right? It
Yeah.
didn't affect the game at all, so he saw what he wanted to see. Okay, I'm not going to that. If I do, I've got to move way right and
That's
loft it.
Nice thing about this format, since you're not working on total pins, it's just match. If you're out of it, you can pick up a couple different balls and see if something's going to give you a better look to the pocket.
Tom Hess's last win on this tour was the Highland Park Open in Greeley, Colorado, last July 3rd. So it's been over a year for both of these players. Guys, I got to believe if we have a World Series MVP right now, it's Tom Hess, no contest.
Oh, yeah.
And Tommy gets to do it for another 18 games.
24.
Well, 24.
Yeah.
It's too bad that, like, literally the top 6 have to bowl again because they're literally so far ahead, but they got to go through the motions.
Yep.
Well, pins carry over to match play, right? So you want to get everything you can.
Too bad we don't have Johnny here to present the trophy. Like
That's the only thing missing.
Yeah, Amuleto was here last night.
Yeah. And Del Ballard is over at Junior Gold, so he wouldn't have made it.
That wasn't really a ring 10 there, was it? More just kind of like a half 10.
Yeah,
just the 6-pin kind of went and said, yeah, I'm not interested.
Yeah. It was kind of like a half attempt.
Yeah.
We talked about it the other night when Tommy was on the show, but man, he's really worked it. He's been posting, staring that ball down all the way through the pin deck.
And the difference was his release. Look where his hand was. His good shots, he's been letting off, and that one he was over top it just a little bit.
Trying to help.
Trying to help it, yeah.
Trying to help. I mean, that's just a gremlin stuck in the back of your head thinking you need to put a little bit more on it maybe, and you can't help but not try to. You can see his hand go around, his elbow up. That swing wasn't near as fluid and long, and he leaves 2-8-10.
Oh.
It's too bad. And now if he was left-handed or could throw it left-handed, he could throw it that shot and might have a chance to pick it up. I see Russ Hunt.
I'd say taking Russ Hunt for that one.
Yeah, doing it a lot today.
Yeah, we watched We watched a left-hander turn right or vice versa and picked up the 2-4-8-10. A right-hander threw it left-handed, picked up the 2-4-8-10.
Yeah, Russ Hunt. Oh, no, that was the other day. I
No.
remember that one too, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Barnes with an opening here.
Man, that was dead flush, but from the angle here and looking at the big monitor,
Yeah.
that looked like it was inside a target when he let go of it.
And it just floated.
Yeah, it was just pushed to the right. It pushed to the right spot.
Mm-hmm.
$25-8.
Yep.
Flush.
That's the game here, ladies and gentlemen.
It seems to be, on these longer patterns, and the guys that have this kind of hand and speed and revs, they just keep going farther and farther. And look at how far Janowitz went last tournament. You just keep going left.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the interesting progression that Chris has seen in his career. When he came out on tour, a little late in life, at his late 20s, he was one of the high rev guys.
Yeah.
A couple years later, he's the tweener.
Yeah.
Comes back here on the 50 tour, he's a high rev guy again.
Right. But somebody said that about Dino today. Actually Walter Ray goes, out on the kids tour, he's not really a high rev guy.
Not anymore.
No. But he comes out here on the senior tour, and unbelievably high rev guy with
jumps
speed.
back to the top of the leaderboard. Yeah.
Just wait till we see Robert Smith next year.
Oh.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to say, hey, Tom, can you do that?
Yeah, my dreams.
And you pulled the muscle in your dream, too.
Yeah, maximum Bob. That's it. And I haven't got any more muscles left to pull. Everything's broke.
Well, Tom Hess, 263, 248 winner game, number 1, best of 3, in the Petraglia Championship match here.
Well, I know you have the stats, but yesterday Tommy Hess averaged like 250 to get to the show.
Oh, it was absolutely crazy the way he bowled yesterday. Yeah, 262 in his last 2 matches to get there, and over 250 for the entire day.
So what's the average today to get the show?
Not quite as much today. He's some ups and downs. Still some pretty solid games. Not quite as high scoring as yesterday. Well, maybe we can put this in a suggestion box, like maybe frame 5 or 6 in every senior title match. We just get a bathroom break.
There you
Right.
go.
All the fans probably need it too, right? And Chuck.
Geritol.
New sponsor opportunity.
Absolutely.
See, that was inside again, I thought,
Yeah,
but it
that
didn't
was
push
inside.
at all.
That was
Yeah,
inside
that
a
time
bunch.
that time it didn't float like it did the last time.
He does get the 10 to go late to break up to 310.
This is the thing you can't do. You see him back and you can see he's frustrated, but you can't let some of the stuff get in your mind. You
No.
just got to put it away and
So
try to
that
figure out
got
what.
to 11. Not even get. I mean, that's 4 left
Yeah.
down lane.
You just got to get back on track. But the lanes, oh my goodness, he almost missed that to the right.
Yeah, he did.
I think he
wasn't
thought
saying a word.
he was practicing the 10-pin with it. I'm going to go. Quit throwing throws so damn hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 10-pin fell. Maybe he didn't realize that. 10-pin's not there. It did fall. All right, 88 in the 4th. He's up 12.
That was in too. Got away with it.
All right, so he's throwing an asymmetrical ball
Mhm.
with some shine on it.
Well, is he throwing this in? Is it
It
this
was.
metric? Is that the
Is
gold
it?
label?
Is the ball? Is it? Or is it asym? That's a good question.
I'm pretty sure it's pretty. Well, it's not like you used to be able to just look at the way block and tell. Can't quite do that anymore.
I actually haven't seen one up close, so I can't tell you. That's the Zen. Wrong one.
Well, still. Could be. Yeah, it's symmetrical.
Tom got that one the shape down lane.
Okay, so he's throwing a Zen. Symmetrical. Looks like it's got some polish on it, or it's just out of the box. As you said earlier, the pattern's kind of stretching out. So Tommy's throwing an ASIM, which I think looks pretty good. You know, as long as you project it through the front, you know, at the right angles, you know, get it steep enough through the front.
Would have said ace in pearl, right? One of my favorites with you know, I mean, little scratch to the surface there.
Right.
And when the lanes get chopped up, or potential doing that, that's always seems to be a good go-to.
I mean, it could be a time. I mean, he's in the lead, but the last two shots aren't fantastic.
Well, his move's going to be to his end. I mean, that's what we've seen the last couple matches. But until Chris really keeps pressure on him, he doesn't have to, right? I mean, he's down a little bit in this game. But Chris needs to prove that he's going to keep striking. Yeah, he just didn't get that to the spot again.
So he's crossing 22-23 on the left lane. I actually think this pair is a trick pair. I mean, to me, I'm sitting back here on the show, and I bowled on it in the qualifying. Did you hit this pair, Chuck?
No, I didn't. Not on this pattern, I didn't. No.
Or on any of the patterns?
Del Bowler.
Some of the guys said they never hit it on any of the patterns. I don't know how the skip went, but when I hit it, that left lane was just snot tight. He caught a handful of that one.
Yes, he did.
And he fired up through the back of that one.
225 to max for Tom Hess here in game number 2 with a 1-0 lead over Chris Barnes. Barnes pacing 218.
So Chris is, if he's throwing the ball I seen down there, it's just a pin up, out of the box, nothing fancy. He's got the other one down there. Basically same layout, it's just pinned down. Barnes with a 3-bagger. He is knocking on the door there. He's like,
that's the trend he's had, though, right? Game 1,
he's
not
like
his best, but
yeah.
games 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah, he's like, you're not taking this one away from him.
No, I mean, he shoots 248 game 1 here and loses, so he was dialed in early on this pair, and I think he's going to keep chasing it. And it's going to be, you know, again, you're going to have to shoot 250 to win this final match. Sure looks like we're going to 3.
Just had a question in the chat. Would a player ball down to avoid having to keep moving so deep? Well, there's a possibility of that.
But you need to find some clean fronts, Earl.
Right.
I mean, that's the
Yeah,
problem, right?
see,
They're
the
chasing left to find
They're
fresh
chasing,
oil in the front
right,
part of the lane.
Exactly, because the mids are blowing up, so they're chasing it left to get through that mid. If they've already played right, they could ball down, granted, 70% of ball reaction, ball surface to lane surface, but then you take a chance of the ball not reading the lane at all the right way. And if you go to a big ball, it could read the lane mids too soon and go dead left out of your hand. And then that could cause you to push it farther right because you know it's going to hook too much. Now you hit the out of bounds. I just think you're moving back into a big ball of mess if you do that.
Well, if you go right, you got to go all the way right. I mean, that's something
Yeah.
we've seen Barnes do a lot through his career. When everybody else is fifth arrow, he goes up to 2 board. We're not going to see that today.
No.
But you're not going to creep right, 5 and 2. You're just going to go as far right as you can to find that fresh front end of the lane.
On this pattern here, you go right. I think you're going to play too close to the out of bounds.
Right.
And one mistake trying to get comfortable to get it to the right. Now you're in the out of bounds.
And you're in the gutter.
Yeah.
You're taking 3 off the right or in the gutter.
Was this the pattern that Janowitz got the
There's
one
a
off the
ball
rack?
change.
Was that this
Yep.
pattern?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
On what, a 4-bagger?
Yeah.
And he picks the 10-pin clean. I mean, he just leaked it right a little bit.
Yeah, I mean that's the rule of thumb, man. You want to try and adjust as far away from that out of bounds as you possibly can. Well, Hess did change that gold label on the left lane, so we'll see what he does on the right lane.
Yeah, I think that was his expected move.
Yeah.
Two's not enough. We're playing extras.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are.
Yeah, Tommy's only going to shoot 214 at best.
Yeah. Chris is already in the 220s.
Right, and you could 258. So
yeah.
we're going to go to game 3, which is going to be a slugfest.
I'm just interested to see if he throws his first one, what he comes out and tries to do the next two
He
shots.
might grab that X mount one more time just to see if anything's changed with it.
Yeah.
He hasn't taken it off the rack. I don't think I see him changing at all. But
No,
it's you always want information.
Those last 2 shots that he threw were just dead pure. He got it to the spot and the ball just checked and went dead left.
He is not changing thumbs though. That's interesting.
Yeah, he just picked up something. I think that's the exponent again.
Gonna move in deeper.
See, that didn't look as lazy that time.
No, he picked up some more front oil. It
Yeah.
actually turned the corner. Oh, in the right lane when he used it that time, he just like stood up.
Yeah.
Now he's going to change again. We're going to throw something else.
I just throwing that gold again. Or it might be the pin down one. You might be trying this pin down one to see if you can get it to read a little earlier.
So you took the words out of my mouth from being a ball driller and doing ball drilling clinics and hanging around Mo and Mo, and everybody's listened to Mo at some point in time.
Absolutely.
I think. Pin down, in some people's opinion, makes the ball roll earlier, and in other people's opinion, it changes the differential so much that all it does, the illusion is it might roll earlier, but it smooths out the back end. So you take a 056 and turn it into an 042 when you drill a pin down. So
that ball change on both lanes looks pretty good for Tom Hess leading into game 3 here.
Well, this is experiment time for both of them.
Yeah.
One of them was in the lead, can't get beat, so I'm going to throw some different balls. Tommy, unfortunately, getting beat. Might as well try something different, see if I can create a different look, because now it's down to 1 game. That was lazy on the back end.
Yeah.
Solid 5.
I am a little thirsty, and the bar is open.
We could hold up our hand back here if you look, and we could get some cocktails.
Someone say cocktails.
Yeah.
Tommy had left a 5-pin, so we thought we might get one.
All right, so here we go. 1 game for all the cheese.
$5,000 first place. In each one of these tournaments, $25,000 for the one on Sunday. Nice little payday.
Oh, yeah. And a major title.
You can absolutely hear a pin drop, and I don't mean a bowling pin in this place, but you
No.
heard those
Oh,
as
no,
well.
it's-
This place
it's
is
so
dead
quiet.
silent. There's some history going on between these two guys through the career, but especially this week. You know, they've been in some matches before, some contentious matches here in the World Series, and it's kind of hitting the boiling point here. We're down to the final game, and it's game on for both players. I mean, there's some fire in both guys here. And we're going to see some fireworks. I talked to the peanut
there's a little
gallery
fire
there during the
earlier
break just
between both of
to see what they thought for this game. And they're thinking 2 teams, 220s, but I think it's going to take 250s to win this final here.
So the over under for total score, you're going to say what? 480 for the two?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. I think so. If they both get the carry back, which we've seen later in the matches, it kind of goes away in the middle. And towards the end, last game, we're seeing some bigger scores. I think both players are in the right ball in the right part of the lane. You see Tom trips out of 4 here. You can make a slight adjustment off that. I'd say keep your eyes open and your ears open here in the championship game. It's going to be a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful shot there on the left lane by Tommy Hess. And he just, those are the shots when you're talking about his swing. He just goes through it so straight and so fluid. The ball is just right on line.
And just snapping the pins off the deck. I mean, that was crispy.
Yeah, we get late in this match. There might be some chirping here.
There was some chirping between those two earlier.
Yeah.
It's just, hi, how you doing? Good luck.
I don't think that was the
Have
chirping.
a good match. Oh, he's staring it down. Oh, that
Man,
one cut loose on it.
That looked inside to me. Again, it didn't push.
I'm not sure by his reaction if he liked it or not. I think this is I think I like it reaction.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I can see this.
He's
Oh,
a little,
come on.
He's a little slow at his
Now he
ball
doesn't
speed,
like it.
too. He's been right up above, just a little bit above 16 miles an hour for most of this match, and that was 15.6. He's been having issues with the thumb hole in his spare ball.
All day.
But
All
did you know,
day.
so
Yeah.
he apparently he's not using, I mean, he uses interchangeables, but when he threw the 2 different strike balls at the end of the game, he didn't switch thumbs, so he's got a couple different thumbs.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, does he use an interchangeable in the spare ball, or
I
that's
don't
just a
think
straight
so. I
drill?
don't
So
think
he's
so.
got, so that means he's got some different feels, though, right? Which
Right.
is something you don't really like.
Well, unless he uses molds, it should be somewhat the same, but that doesn't mean they're taped up the same.
Right.
You know?
Right. Exactly.
I said, uh-oh, as soon as he let go of that. And for some reason, I don't know about
Just
you
a
guys,
straight chop.
it was really easy to chop spares on these patterns in this house this week. I mean, the 610 was stupid easy to chop. Much better shot out of Barnesy. You can see the sigh of frustration
Yeah.
because he just handed Tommy 11 pins.
Yeah, didn't mean for that to be an early Christmas present.
No.
There, 6-pin did its job on that shot.
Yeah.
It looks to me like he just settled down and is just now letting the ball just swing his arm and he's just going through it. Boy, he is deadlocked, lasered on at the foul line, isn't he? He
Well,
just,
he just
yes, he
posted and
is.
watched that ball all the way into the ball return past the pin deck. He was really paying attention to the ball motion and the way it went through the pins.
and that was a thing on TV, like when Norm's on TV, you see Norm, he just stares him down, just post it. That's what Tommy's doing.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Throw the hip at
Yeah,
it.
he got a little bit of a break there. That
Yeah.
wasn't as clean as the last shot. But that's okay. That gives him a 4-bagger. It's okay to make a mistake and get away with it.
Absolutely. Oh.
Again?
Yeah, he's playing so deep now.
stick?
He's getting into that part of the approach where
When it never gets
it
used.
never gets used, so it gets a little sticky in there.
That's the hard part about getting in front of the ball return when we have to sometimes.
Yeah,
Those literally,
that part of the panel's never used.
you know, what is it? Between that gutter and that gutter, depending on where you slide, you're looking at 15 boards or more.
Yeah,
That
Well,
never.
but the difference when JJ does that, he doesn't slide.
No, he
Right.
just plants.
He just
So
plants.
that doesn't affect him. Chris has one of the longer slides out here. Him and Tom both.
Don't chop this one. That looked choppable.
Well, it was the same one, wasn't it? Well, I didn't expect this. Rack time, slow things down.
No, he's touched
Oh,
the bowling
yeah.
ball, so that's out the window for this frame anyway.
Does everybody know that rule?
We talked about it earlier.
Did
a little
you?
bit, yeah.
You know, once you touch the bowling ball, you can't re-rack unless you get an okay from the tournament director. And Chris Barnes is headed down the wrong path. It just looks like he's moved inside of good ball reaction.
He just can't get the ball to push enough right. It's
Yeah,
just he's getting
well, I
so
think
much of it, it's just not getting there.
Exactly. The farther he's getting left, the more he's kind of wanting to hit it to make sure it turns the corner, but it ends up just reading the lane sooner, and he never gets it to the spot.
Ooh,
He gave it a run.
he did.
He had to at this point, right? I mean, that's 75 now in the fifth.
Yeah, the best he can shoot is 225.
Yeah. And again, 225, 230. I still think you're talking 240 or 50 to win this game. So you might as well take a run at it now. See if you can get some help.
Oh, timber on the
Yeah.
5-pin. It just kind of goes down slowly. At this point in time, you know Tommy's getting wound up. He's going to say something in a minute. He can't go without saying something.
No, yeah. I'm actually shocked he didn't re-rack on this one after that last shot, just to calm himself a little bit more.
All right.
Front
There you
six.
go.
Yeah.
This is almost game, set, and match already, and we're only halfway through the game.
Yeah, if Chris doesn't strike here, it's pretty much over. Because that'll put him, what, max score of 2-0?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 215 max now. I mean, it's got to be an absolute biggest Christmas present, birthday present, Valentine's Day, all wrapped up in one here. If Chris is going to have a chance to win
Well,
this
that
one
puts
even
him
right now,
one step closer to Hall of Fame status.
it does.
Yeah, it does.
So is that the food I'm smelling that you keep talking about?
It gets
behind
us every night about this time. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's been a different meal every day that gets us too. Yeah, I went to the Exponent. I think that time just, you know what? Might as well see if I can find something.
That ball still looks lazy, though. He
Yeah.
got away with that one.
Yeah, it straightened out there on the back end. So they're both in good position tomorrow. They're up there, and they got 6 games of what they want to call, I guess, shuffling the cards,
Right.
finding out who's going to end up where. Then we go into cut to the top 18, then another 18 games of match play.
With the bonus pins. So there's still pretty bunched up towards the top. You're going to see a lot of movement, and that top 5 is far from being set. I mean, right now, if our top 5 for the World Championship would be Chris Barnes, Pete Weber, John Janowicz, Brad Angelo, Tom Hess. That's a pretty good show.
Right.
That's a really good show.
That's a pretty good show.
Pete's had a heck of a time getting to the show. It just seems like he can't get matched up these last couple of days.
Yeah.
I mean, good enough to make the top 16, but when it comes to these matches, but I guarantee you, when it comes to this top 24, he's going to be a different person.
Yeah, I'm surprised. We weren't shocked to see him make all 3 of the short pattern was a surprise, but the fact he makes all 3 top 16s, he didn't make a finals or even get a win is the surprise to me.
Yep.
But again, he lose to Walter Ray.
Right.
Ryan Schaefer. It's not, he's not getting beat by me. He's getting beat by some pretty good players. But you got your work cut out for you tomorrow too, Tom, because this guy right here to your right, he's still in that World Championship.
I know. We get to talk about Chuck.
Yeah.
Oh, and we will.
Oh, yeah.
we will. All right, now we can talk about Tom Hess on the front 7 here in this championship final. Best of 3. Tom won the first one, Chris won the second, and Tom is dominating game number 3 here.
Ooh.
Just a hair high, but
Yeah.
still a good shot. And as much as the lanes went into transition, they kind of looked a little spastic out there. Tommy's making them look pretty smooth this game.
He is.
I think it's all in his release when he can just roll it and feed it. Kind of like that Nathan Bohr, that
Right.
little flick type thing. Now get grabby with it. The ones you see him get grabby, are the ones that got a little squirrely.
You got to get that Gumby arm swing like Mike Flanagan.
Fagan
had.
Fagan,
Yeah.
Mike Flanagan.
Mike
yeah,
Flanagan.
his is kind of weird too.
His is a little loose too.
Yeah.
But Mike Fagan, they look like Gumby up there.
So it's going to be a second place for Chris Barnes here in the Petraglia Championship. A top 4, a second, and a win and I guess that was the average progression for Hess today,
Yeah.
right? He keeps getting better every day.
Oh,
Not sure he can get
man.
any better for the World
Yeah.
Championship. He's don't peak too soon. You got a couple days to go.
yeah. And that's the thing, okay, now you got to win and you got all this adrenaline going. You can't that just went down there 100 because he knows he's frustrated.
Yeah, it's over.
It's
Yeah.
over. He's frustrated, and you can't blame him. You don't always win all the stuff, but if you give him a good run for it, you feel better about it even if you lost down inside. You're like, okay, if it was, say, 279, 278, it was a good match, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
unfortunely,
Yeah, I didn't
Chris
see this
just
coming. I
doesn't
really
have
thought-
anything.
Yeah, I didn't see
Yeah.
this coming at all.
That better come up, and it didn't.
Ooh.
It's a good thing he slowed up on that because
he was
saw it,
getting ready
too. He tried to hold back on that one.
Wow.
don't need to buy another sweep arm.
Well, not the final we were expecting here, obviously, but we're gonna see these two players again throughout the rest of the weekend. And Tom, you might want to lock the motor on, because if Hess can just walk out the door and crash, that's what he's ready to do right now after his last 3 days. He's ready for some sleep.
You can't blame him. I mean, being in here all day long, you're more mentally wiped, I think. But
Yeah.
with all these games, you're going to be some physically wiped too.
Well, that's the thing with these matches, though. I mean, it's qualifying is different, right? You got games, just bowl. Now you got every shot in every match is
I know
is taxing,
it's taxing. Well,
mentally, more than physically for these guys. That's where you get tired.
Well, as a ball rep, Jeff and I are in here all day long, and last couple of days, and last night when I went home, I crashed at 10:30 and didn't wake up till 8:30 this morning. I was like done.
It was that long drive that wore you out.
Yeah, that was a drive, to get to my motor home, which is like
30 steps.
No, about 15 right outside the door.
Yeah.
Even with your short legs, it's only 15?
Oh, wow. Just because of that one picture, you and I standing together, everybody goes, boy, Tom's short.
Well, we're not telling him I was standing on a little step stool, but
it's all right.
I mean, I'm only 5'7", so.
You liar.
Good finish for Hess. Again, we've seen him get stronger every game and every match, and he kept the same going. He just makes those little moves. You think he's lost, he finds something. He gets the breaks when he needs them, which is always a plus. But he's earned this title the way he's bowled here this week. There's no question about that.
Well, he's the epitome of never giving up. You never give up.
Right.
You just keep grinding.
It's been a little over a year. Greeley last summer, I think it was July 3rd. And here we are now, Tom Hess getting title number 4. Chris will finish up, and we'll go down there and talk to him. And check trophy and a little Q&A with our champion here, Tom Hess.
Now we just got to see if he's going to start crying. He cries when he wins. Don't make him cry. It's mine. I get the bottle of wine. Tommy Hess, winner of the Johnny Petraglia pattern here in Jack 60, Jackson, Michigan.
What a great match. What a great match. Some bad breaks here and there for Chris Barnes, but I mean, for the most part, it was pretty good match.
Well, as a great player as Chris is, it's a disappointment. Those guys expect to win and want to win every time that they get a ball in their hand, and it just wasn't meant to be today. He put up a good fight, but today is all about Tommy Hess.
Title 4. It's been just over a year since your last title in Greeley, Colorado. A 3-4 finish here, a second, and now a first here in the 3 events at the World Series. You're off to a heck of a start.
Yeah, I'm tired. Man, that's a lot of bowling. Today, I don't know what to say. Today, I knew it was going to be tough right from the opening get-go. I'm bowling the guy who still has a heck of a shot for Player of the Year in John Janowitz, and most likely, him or John Rakowski are probably going to be the Rookie of the Year. So I knew I had to get focused. I got focused against JJ. I threw a bunch of really good shots, and then I bowled last year's Rookie of the Year, Dino Castillo, and first game didn't go my way. I threw some bad shots, and I knew Dino wasn't going to let me off the ropes, and so I had to get focused. And then oddly enough, I got really lost. Bowling Bill was the first time that somebody had thrown surface right on top of me, and I just went away. I bowled 160 there in the middle game. But I got to give a huge shout out to Jimmy Callahan. My ball rep came down and talked me through it and calmed me down, and we made the right decision, and I was able to bowl a big game. And then, man, you can't, Chris Barnes, come on. Guy's a living legend. I think he's probably the best bowler on this tour right now. Hall of Famer. Good friend.
Right.
So anytime you can get him is good. get coming. My wife was coming up tomorrow. She decided to drive up and surprise me, and then she couldn't leave because she didn't want to watch. So come on, baby, get on the way up here. Take your time. Please be safe. Mom, you're watching at home. I love you. Dwight, thank you, everybody, for watching. But, huge props to Chris. Everybody give him a hand. What a day he had. He's a great bowler, and today was my day.
All right, we still got the World Championship to go. You get a little rest tonight, back at it tomorrow morning with the advancers round. How much are you going to sleep tonight?
I don't know. Last night when I got back to the room, I turned on the Cubs game on my computer, and I didn't even see the end of the inning. So I imagine it'll probably be the same way tonight. I got a little bit more adrenaline now because, tonight's result was a lot better. But, yeah, I got to get some sleep because I'm still chasing all the big guys, Chris is leading the World Championships. Brad, Pete, John, all those guys, John Rakowski. We're not even halfway done with that event. You know what I mean? We got a lot of bowling left, so